Everyone, welcome to Medicine for the Soul. I'm Sarah, and this is your 5-minute beginner series video on tree pose. So we're gonna figure out how we get in, how we get out, and so we'll begin standing. Because how we get into tree pose is from Tadasana or mountain pose. So let's check our alignment. Feet are about sit bone distance apart. Roll your shoulders back and down, crown of the head reaching for the ceiling. And while we're here, we're just gonna kind of gently, very subtly shift your weight side to side, from foot to foot, kind of getting grounded, finding your center here. We're eventually gonna shift our weight all the way onto our right foot. So once you're ready to do that, you can slowly begin to lift your left foot off of the mat, bending your knee. And then we open our hip to the side, and you can decide where your tree sits. Maybe it sits right here at your calf. You can also kickstand if you're working on your balance, or if you'd like more of a challenge, you can bring your foot all the way up to your thigh, pressing your thigh and your foot together. The only thing we want to avoid is our knee. So standing here, you can bring your hands to heart center, or you can grow branches. And in tree pose, it's important to find a focus point or a drishti to set your gaze on, to just kind of help you balance. And so from tree pose, I'm going to shift so that I can stay on my mat. But from tree pose, usually one of the poses you'll come into is warrior one. So that would be bringing your left knee back to center, taking a nice deep inhale, and then exhale, stepping back into your warrior one. Inhale, arms up, and breathe. And so that's one of the ways we get out of tree pose. We'll do another one. Let's start with tree pose on the opposite side. So finding your weight, finding your center, eventually shifting all of the weight onto your left foot and lifting your right foot off of the mat, opening the hip, kind of drawing your belly button in towards your spine here. Balancing has a lot to do with core work. And so hands at heart center, or branches out to the side, finding your drishti, your focus point. And so another way that we come out of tree pose, so from the top of your mat, you would bring your right knee back to center and come right into a warrior three. So that's extending your foot or your leg back, keeping your foot active, so it's like you're kicking the wall behind you, and either bringing your arms out in front or to the side, or I don't have blocks here, but if I had blocks, I could come down to my blocks. And so that's another way we can come out of tree pose. I have one more. It's very similar to warrior one, but you can choose which side you start your tree on. Coming back into your tree pose for a moment, maybe taking a nice deep breath. And another typical way that you would come out of this is, again, bringing your knee back to center and stepping back into a high lunge. So a high lunge is similar to a warrior one, except that your back toes are pointed to the top of your mat and your heel is lifted. And maybe your extended leg is bent a little bit. And then inhale, arms up, and hold here. That is in and out of tree pose. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will hope to see you next time.